Cancer gang? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. My name's Annie. We're going to read your tarot cards here. This will be a general message for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Highly encourage you to watch your rising sign. Whenever I use my little zodiac wheel here, it's geared more towards some planetary knowledge of what's going on in the sky. So in order for that to be more specific to you, it's very much tied to your rising sign. So yeah, you're welcome to watch any reading you want. Come in with an open heart, with an open mind. Only take away the messages that resonate with you, speak to you, motivate you, inspire you, empower you. That's what I want to do here on my channel. If you're not feeling that way, feel free to click off. Check back next week. Maybe something will hit you differently at a different point. Okay? Let's do it. Cancer. Happy birthday to all the Cancer gang out there. I hope you guys are enjoying your birthday season. Let's see what tarot messages we can get for you this week. All right, we'll do it there. I'm actually wanting to split the deck here. I don't know why. Those feel important too. Okay. All right, so bottom of your deck is Queen of Pentacles. So there's something very kind of maternal in nature about the Queen of Pentacles. She nurtures the earth, the land, right? She's sort of the earth queen. Very practical, plans ahead, very responsible, very reliable, also very patient. So I'm not sure if that's behavior or characteristics you're demonstrating this week, or maybe, depending on what the reading says, it's a quality that you're being asked to lean into a little bit more. Yeah, I'm hearing something about, the motherland. Isn't that funny? Interesting. So some of you maybe, I don't know. Well, okay, very Cancerian, I guess. Revisiting your roots or your ancestry. You maybe even be planning some sort of vacation or travel excursion to go back to something that is like your native land or your homeland. That could also be something going on within your family, too. It could be, with your significant other or something. All right, Cancers. So let's see. First card off the deck is Seven of Swords, and then opposing that is the Five of Swords. So WTF is going on there. The rest of your cards actually look really beautiful. And it's not to say that those cards are bad, right? I don't like to give that kind of energy to any tarot card. There's just trickier energies in tarot, and from trickier energies is opportunities for growth. But specifically in long-term, either romantic relationships or contracts, people are not being forward with the truth, especially you, Cancer. You seem to be hiding something that either could potentially hurt the person you're in partnership with, but the thing is, I feel like your person is too, though. So Five of Swords, which is coming up almost as the other, whoever this is in conversation with. Five of Swords is typically winning at all costs. That's sort of what we call it in tarot. It's someone who is maybe a little bit tricky, or someone who puts themselves first, or does or says things, particularly swords with words. It's words can hurt. Someone who always has to be on top. Someone who you may have been having a lot of, I'm almost wanting to say intellectual battles or power struggles is very big here. And it will continue to be in the coming weeks because Pluto, sitting in your 7th house, is opposing the Sun in Cancer. So those are two what we would call malefic planets. Of course, there's positive aspects to them, but when they're opposing each other, it's literally that tug of war. So again, this could be happening to you at work. Maybe that's why the Queen of Pentacles is coming up here, but I don't know. I have to be honest. For some of my Cancers, I see you packing up and leaving to the point where it's you don't even want to provoke any more conversation because this person has made they've made their intentions known by not being forward with you. I know that's a little bit convoluted, but I mean, you're very intuitive, Cancer, so that's the thing. You sense this person's game, or you sense their tricks, and maybe you did try to confront them on something, and even so, however they reacted, it just seems to be in a lower vibration. And so there's something about, I just see you, especially literally in this card, you're not leaving anything behind. Frequently with the Seven of Swords, I always say, leaving the door open so that you could return to this person, the past, if you needed to. Here, it's you're creeping away. And so I don't know if you're this is not making a grandiose exit. This is like being very subtle and very quiet and moving on or moving away. If this isn't super like manipulative by nature, and I don't mean you specifically, whatever this is, there could just be a secret you're keeping and you're not sharing it with, especially like a business partner. Maybe you're planning on exiting a job or something of the sort. Do you understand what I mean? Like, you're not leaving any room to return to this. Like, you're pretty much closing the chapter, but you're being secretive about it. Let me see where this is headed here. I do really like a message here that I think whatever you're severing ties with, it is healthy for you to, yes, it is healthy for you to understand that there is definitely something better, better out there for you, but it will take an act of bravery and courage to move towards it, to step into that new chapter, because there is no guarantee of the timeline of when this new relationship, this new business contract comes in, but it's like you feel it in your gut, and you don't seem to be romanticizing this person or the situation at all. It's like you've gathered everything you need to know from them, and from there you're stepping into this new chapter, but you also know, I think most of you know, there's some sort of waiting period between what you're hoping to accomplish and achieve by leaving this chapter and going to the next. You have several cards indicating a waiting game, and that's not a bad message. If anything, it shows a tremendous amount of strength and faith of your character. What you have coming to you that you don't necessarily see, but I think you feel it. Again, your intuition. You do have that Ace of Cups. You do have a new opportunity. This is a beautiful Ace of Cups, too. Let's just like appreciate I just love this card. I think it's so beautiful. The Ace of Cups is showing up as what's hidden, but it hasn't made itself known yet. Intuitively, I think you do feel this, especially with Gemini ruling your 12th. There's a very strong psychic abilities right now. Mercury is moving through that area. From the Seven of Swords, you kind of go, especially in terms of your money may be in kind of flux right now, or waiting on some sort of payout, especially with your 8th house, waiting on some sort of strong collaboration to come in with the King of Pentacles, or waiting on some sort of, I'm hearing the word exit check. That's not even like, I don't like a payout. Like if you did leave a company, it's like you're still waiting for that, them to pay out your vacation days or something like that. You maybe, I don't know, something to do with like health insurance or government loans, or there's money that you're waiting on with the Hanged Man. It's called Perspective in this deck. It will come in, but I would say while you're waiting, Two of Wands says be an active waiter. Don't just sit there idly waiting and hoping. Again, it's great to have faith, right? But there's something about... I just posted something about this, though. It actually really seems to fit this. It's like manifesting isn't just hoping and wishing. It's deciding and taking action. Even if this you're waiting on some sort of money or some sort of job offer, right? Something like that, with the King of Pentacles showing up. I mean, the Queen of Pentacles is bottom of the deck, so I'd say that's probably going to work out for you in the coming weeks. But Saturn is sitting in your 8th house, so again, there may be a stagnancy and a need to reorder or reconfigure to essentially like learn some lessons from this and do it properly. Don't do it quick and rushed. There's a need to create order and structure with Saturn sitting in that house of finances. Anyway, that whole thing about manifestation is not just hoping and sitting and wishing. It's making a decision and taking action on it. There's something else you can be doing while you're waiting for this money puzzlement to sort itself out, because for most of you, I mean, I think Mars in your 2nd house, you're going to have some energy, and Venus as well, to put in some extra action to do this money thing the best you can. But then I think you reach a point where it's out of your control and the situation will transform on its own if you have shown up and done the work. So while that is in flux and you're waiting, there's some sort of other or alternative path you could be headed down. Again, something about a chance to travel. Yeah, it's almost like when you stop trying to force a financial situation to happen, whether this is literal or in metaphor, it's like when you step away and go on vacation, there's some sort of positive shift that happens where it comes to you at a time where you're not just sitting and waiting for it. You know, like the watched pot never boils, or the watched kettle never boils. That's a really good metaphor for what I see going on here. I'm getting this metaphor of like shedding your skin. You may be going through some sort of personal transformation or spiritual transformation, especially in the way you're presenting yourself. And it's almost like, isn't that funny? I said something about there's not this grandiose exit. If anything, it's like you're preparing for a grand entrance. You may be doing a lot of work behind the scenes on something that is very spiritually fulfilling to you. It's good for your spiritual health. Could also be something creative, or I mean, maybe romantic. That's not the first message I got, but hey, if it's your story, take it and run with it. There's a need for you to be, I've said this to you before, Cancer, a need to be kind of hush-hush and secretive about it. And then again, in the coming weeks or months, there's this grand opening. There's this display. There's, some of you may be spreading out the location of your rulership, or spreading out the location of your... It feels business related with the devil. If it's not, I'm trying to figure out what else this would be. Some of you may have a Capricorn coming to visit you. And if that's the case, it's like you're keeping it secret. I don't know why that is, but... Is it like a sex thing, Cancer? I don't know what's going on here. There's some sort of grand reveal of something. Maybe if you've been dating this person, you may actually be presenting them to your family at some point. Because you're showing up as the Queen of Cups in your 5th house, which is a lot of like... your ability to express yourself, and in a very intense way, and also display what it is that you want the world to see of you. It could even be, again, something in a more creative way. You're moving something forward ahead, especially regarding your physical being, your physical person. Very much, again, the way you enter a room. I just keep getting this idea. It's almost like it's almost like a makeover. I know that seems very like superfluous and like whatever, but it's like you're doing something very extreme. Maybe you're getting like a really extreme haircut, or you're buying this completely new wardrobe. And the way you present yourself, especially during some sort of travel opportunity or among large groups of people, if you're giving a speech or a presentation, you're like a powerhouse. You're coming into the room and you're gonna knock them. I don't know. You're gonna knock them dead. You're gonna knock them down. There's something very intense about your energy, but I think it's because you're thirsty for this. It's something you really want. I don't know if this is romantic. It's not showing up necessarily in your houses of relationships, but I just have this feeling they might be related. Jupiter is transiting your 9th house, and that's where this devil card is showing up. So I'm not convinced this devil card is bad. I think it has to do with you taking back power of something or someone where it felt like you were silenced or your power was taken away a little bit. So again, instead of putting up a fight with a person who they just don't see your idea or they don't see your vision, you seem to be taking your thoughts or collecting your items quite subtly and bringing it to a new space or to a new company or to a... Do you understand, like a new environment so that you can make the most of what you've already started? And when you launch it, it's very big, it's very bold. I would say it's very fierce. There may be something a little bit venomous, or the ability to prove someone wrong because you pitched an idea and they rejected you. It's almost like, oh, is that how it's going to be, mother effer? Like there's something about when you do it your way, it succeeds. And so I guess... whatever this is, it was never meant to be. It wasn't a good fit, and you knew that, and so you're not putting in the argument anymore. You're not putting in the fight. You are kind of sliding out the back door, though, and I'll be honest, if there's bad blood in this relationship, it could be to, like, stick it to them a little bit, to not even give them the courtesy of notice. That's sort of what I feel. Gosh, Cancer, this is an interesting one this week. And again, it very likely has to do with this kind of Pluto-Sun dynamic. There's a power struggle, and you seem to be exiting. I don't think you're stressed about it. I don't think you can be bothered by this person anymore. Because it's like you have bigger plans ahead, but with that, there's some sort of, again, waiting period until this story comes full circle and they get to see the end result of what you wanted to do or what you were working on. I love this Queen of Cups, too. And the fact that for my Cancer risings, again, in whole sign astrology, that's, yes, one form of astrology. It is not the form of astrology, right? I just want to put that out there. Your 5th house in whole sign astrology is ruled by Scorpio, and there is something very scorpionic. That's sort of what I mean by venomous or revenge. And I'm not saying it's necessarily evil, but there is this, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to show you what you didn't see before. And like, essentially, I'm not saying you have to do this, but I feel like for you, Cancer, there's this need to prove somebody wrong. That's just the message I get. And to be honest, like the cards involved here, aside from maybe the Queen of Cups, I do like the Queen of Cups, but in a low vibration, she can be a little bit jealous or manipulative. It's having a positive connection with these cards, though. So whatever this is, these cards are related. The Queen of Cups, the Devil, and the Seven of Swords. So these storylines are related, especially in your house of identity and self-expression and how you make your way in the world. So we could look at these and say, okay, well, maybe it's a positive expression of these cards, but these are heavier energies. If this isn't a Capricorn, and it might be, showing up in your 9th house, a mentor, someone you are, I don't know, it could be going back to school to work on your career. Capricorn is very much associated with kind of 10th house career and longevity, how you root yourself, all these metaphors, right? The acorn to the oak tree, very Capricorn-esque energy. But with the Devil, though, it also does speak of temptation. I don't know, there is something kind of sinister or, I don't know, even kind of like temptress sexy about this. I think, bear with me, Cancer, I know I've already lost half of you, but there's something like you want them to want what they can't have anymore. So if this is a workplace who did you wrong, or a romantic prospect, or someone you were in contract with, it's like you want them to see the error of your ways and you are hell-bent on doing it just for that satisfaction. So I'm not here to say yay or nay, right? It's your life. You have free will. But I guess the only thing I want you to ask yourself is, why do you need this person to know what they missed out on? Or why do you need this? I don't know if it's that you're looking for the approval, but I definitely feel like a little bit of revenge of, I need to prove this person wrong or show them what they didn't see in me. And maybe it's just for your own pride, but I would also watch that, because I think you're investing energy in something more so for the other than when really you should just be doing this for you. You should be doing it because it makes your heart sing, because it makes you happy. And I'm saying that because of the cards associated with it. Part of me thinks this, and I'm never here to judge, right? I think you guys know this. Part of me thinks this may or may not have to do with third-party relationship stuff. Like if you got involved with somebody who was already partnered up and they didn't choose you, is there this display of, I want them to see that I'm busy dating someone else, but for you the end goal is for your ex to be jealous of you? Again, I don't mean to offend or insult. I'm trying to be unbiased here, but the cards here, I'm wondering what your motive is. Because Seven of Swords says there's absolutely a hidden motive. You're not displaying this or showing it to anyone at the time, but you definitely have a plan for major transformation. You are struggling to leave this chapter behind. Like you're doing it, but okay, mentally, that's what's important. What's squaring this is the Six of Swords, which is about finding inner peace and balance and decluttering your mind, quite literally getting rid of the Five of Swords onto the Six of Swords, where it's like brighter days ahead. I think that's your goal, but with that, you're holding on to a lot of mental baggage, where I think the universe is saying you're free from that. You don't have to bring that part of the story with you. If anything, this may have been an influence for universe to get you to see that it was time to go, to see that there's more out there. But in terms of yeah, I just keep wanting to say needing to prove someone wrong when it's the old chapter of your life. I think ultimately you're being told to cut the cord, sever it. Is it worth bringing that kind of energy with you? I will say for some of you out there, it's a great motivator to get where you want to be. But again, the spiritual side of this makes me want to ask, but why aren't you enough? Why don't you just want to do it for you? If we remove the ex or the boss or whoever this is, aren't you worth it? Aren't you enough to like make your own dreams come true? This was certainly a catalyst. This was an initiator. This was again a motivator. But I guess I just would watch the karma tied to this. Make sure you're doing it because you see potential in this next endeavor and this next project, and that you're not purely doing it to either satisfy another or to prove someone else wrong. I just think that's a really important reminder for some of you. Because in order to bring this next chapter to fulfillment or to see a lot of end result, you may have to invest a lot of time and energy in this. So again, I'm asking you to assess, are you doing it for you? Are you truly doing it for the right reasons? Or with the tarot cards here and a little higher perspective, is your trajectory off because you're trying to, I don't know, be a people pleaser or serve somebody or show somebody their karma when really it's not your business to do that, right? Leave that up to the universe. Okay, I'm going to get off that storyline, but wow, that was a big one. You are making strong strides in your career path forward. There has been a lot of delays, but I think in the coming weeks there will be reason to celebrate here. Yeah, especially with Venus and Mars moving through Leo. That's essentially your house of money and income. That's going to make a positive aspect to your 6th house, which is your everyday work activity, and then your 10th house, which is long-term career type stuff, the way you your public image, how you build up your legacy in the world. I like those cards, the 6 of Swords and the 3 of Cups. You may end up with a small raise or a promotion or something to celebrate because of the everyday work you've been putting in. You know, maybe you get more sales this week. Maybe you get an extra bonus this month. If you are looking for work, I would say you're going to be looking for work for a little longer. That's not a bad message, though. I think there may be a networking connection, especially through a King of Cups, actually, especially through a friend who may be able to hook you up with some sort of opportunity, especially a fellow water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, in your group of friends. In your house of dating, you may end up connecting again with a water sign. It's really interesting. You have, this is very interesting. You also have a divine pairing here, the King and Queen of Cups. Again, I can't help but mention this idea of the ex, and is the ex actually single? And that could have been you too, Cancer. I don't mean to point any fingers again. There's no judgment here, right? You know, your life is your life. It's your business. But you are accountable for the decisions you make and have made. And so I would just be really cognizant of third-party activity this week. If you are single and looking and none of this third-party stuff makes sense, you may connect with somebody from your past, especially a water sign, and that could actually lead to long-term wish fulfillment, whatever you desire from a relationship in the long term. But you seem to be a little bit at odds with this person. You guys struggle to compromise at first in this relationship, but if that's something you can work on over time, I think this could actually be a very solid partner for you. I do kind of see some aspects of pregnancy too, which I feel like has come up for the last several readings for my Cancers. In terms of what is hidden, like what is, I don't know, just the idea of the seed and having to wait and hearing news but not delivering it yet. What's hidden away is the Ace of Cups, which can be like adding one to the mix. So there could be pregnancy in your future, especially with King and Queen of Cups, as well as King and Queen of Pentacles, very much maternal, paternal, mother, father type energy. And then you do have Three of Cups. So if it's not third party, for some of you, I'm not exactly sure how the storyline fits with everything I've already told you, but there could be news of pregnancy. You may have found out that an ex and their significant other is pregnant or something like that. And so even if you're not even in contact with this ex anymore, you may kind of have this, I don't know. Again, this motivator of I'm going to do work on myself in my own life. But again, some of you, it's for the purpose of displaying it to make someone else jealous of you. Cancer, this is a tricky one this week. I'm sure it has to do with some of the placements of the planets too. So obviously this won't be everyone's story every time. I wish they were always happy and fun. And I'm not saying this one isn't, but there's definitely some tricky energy that maybe your shadow side is creeping up a little bit this week. So just, forewarned is forearmed, right? Make sure you are clearing things out energetically and not holding on to, again, negative energy, grudges, resentment, because it really doesn't do anyone any good, right? It brings your vibe down. It lowers your vibe and raise your vibration. That's what we're doing in tarot, right? So making you aware of some storylines I do see some happy stuff too. Especially dating with a water sign in the next couple weeks looks promising. I do like that. But there is a lot of a need to be patient and sort through things. I do see that in the coming week as well. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with that, Cancers. This one threw me for a loop a little bit. Let me know in the comments down below if any of this resonates for you. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next week for more tarot. And happy birthday! Bye, Cancers!